Hey guys, today we are talking about discipline. This can be kind of a touchy subject with some people because people choose to do it differently, but at Bow Down we have a certain way of doing discipline and it is based on the Word of God. So I'm going to start off with a quote from John MacArthur. It says, "Discipline is difficult, painful, and often heart-rending. It is not that we should love the offenders, but that we should love Christ, His church, and His Word even more. Our love to the offenders is not to be sentimental tolerance, but correcting love." So we want to make sure that we are correcting in love, right? Really, that's what God does with us. There is discipline. There's consequences when we decide not to obey His commands and follow His word. There's consequences to that, but it's out of a heart of love. He doesn't want us walking in bondage, right? He wants us walking in freedom. And so it's the same kind of heart with Bow Down as we instill that discipline in the different things that we do.
Yeah, this is such an important issue. And if you're a new volunteer, I feel for you. I know how it is coming in sometimes and you're volunteering and you may not know kids or you may not know people and you don't know what the discipline should look like. It's okay. We want you to be encouraged. The discipline room and the discipline that we have set in place over our programs is very important because it allows for the opportunity for growth. Discipline is a very special time where there could be one-on-one ministries. The gospel can be shared. There can be counseling going on. Inner healing topics could be entered to in the discipline room. Yeah. So a lot of times it's hard for a volunteer to want to put someone in a timeout or to discipline because they know there's going to be a consequence. But with the consequence, we've built in a pruning aspect to help those that we're serving. So be confident in the policies set up for discipline. We want to walk those out effectively, and we want to just execute what the policy states in whatever ministry you're in. And if you look at God's heart in the Old Testament and the New Testament, no matter where it is, God always disciplines His children when they step out of line. You see God disciplining the children of Israel. You see God disciplining His leaders, Moses, David. In the New Testament, you see verses like Hebrews 12:6, which says, "For the Lord disciplines the one He loves and chastises every son whom He receives." God, He disciplines because He loves us. My son and my daughters, the reason I discipline them is because I know what it will build in them, the character that it will build in them. And when we discipline effectively in our programs, we're teaching our kids something. There's more that's happening than just that moment of discipline. We're actually teaching and showing them how discipline works. So it's a great time for growth on the kids, on the people, the neighbors that we're serving's part, but it's also a time for growth in us to step into more and more how we can better discipline and help someone grow into the person that God's calling them to be, to understand their identity and their destiny and walk with purpose.
Yeah. So at Bow Down, we use the ICE system, and that's an acronym. So the I stands for instruction. You want to make sure that you are giving very clear instructions, because if you don't and you come and do a consequence, it's not going to make sense to the child that you're disciplining. So make sure you're being very clear in your instruction and what you're asking them to do. If this doesn't happen, this consequence is going to happen. And then the E in that is execution. If you're just threatening and saying, hey, if you don't do this, you're going to have to sit out of this activity for 5 minutes, but they keep on doing it over and over again, they're going to think that you're not a woman or man of your word. So you want to make sure that you're executing. And then if you're not, we have a zone system set up, but we have another training that we're going to do specifically on the zone system, so I'll leave that for then. We hope you guys understand and agree, too, with the discipline policy here. And if you don't, feel free to email us and we can talk about it. Hope you have a great rest of your week. We're praying for you guys. Thank you for all that you do.